So difficult.
To find it, it's not something. I know, it shouldn't be that hard.
You know what I'm saying? As long as people look okay.
Is it up? Is it live now? Okay. What? Yeah, I'm going to. I'm just making sure that everything is correct here.
What's half of this?
哦，那个会是自己的。他是会请下来才
This I can practically have this way.
How are you, man? Thank you for coming by. Appreciate it. Appreciate it.
How's everything with you?
Good, good.
How's your folks?
We're good for the most part. For the most part. It's family's family, though. You know how it is. Just trying to get through these holidays.
You going anywhere?
No, just staying around here. Yeah. New Year's and Christmas being in the middle of the week makes it kind of hard to do any travel. Unless I take time off, and I'd rather not do that.
And the airport's gonna be crazy.
Exactly.
That's good, that's good.
We're doing Broker's Corner today, right? With just these three?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
Do you want to talk about the market with me a little bit? Going into the Broker's Corner?
I don't know. Let's do
I
it.
don't know there's much to talk about, that's the thing. We kind of talked about this last time. Doesn't hurt though.
I'm just not used to these charts as much as I am the other one, so let me just see what I'm looking at here.
So this is pending from '04 to December 2nd. And then this is more recent, so it's 2020 to 2024. It's the same thing, just active versus pending.
So the blue is
Active.
active,
Orange is
and
pending.
orange is pending.
And then this is all of our main cities that we work with.
I usually try to look for a good story, and that is not a good story. That's the only reason it's not as much as I think I understand what I'm looking at. I just don't like what I'm looking at. Let's go to the last one. What was the other one?
This is from '04 to.
Hey, Steven.
What's different about this graph?
Oh my goodness.
Tri-City Valley active versus pending. And what is the next one? Go back again? I'm just trying to see what it
It's
is.
the same thing. It's active versus pending, but this is over a longer period of time.
Oh, I see. Okay. All right. Yeah, I like to just let it turn into a conversation from there, which I can probably help with.
Okay, sweet.
Let me look at that other one more time so that my brain can get around one more thing.
Hey, good to see you. Yes, well, the flight was very bumpy for about 50 minutes, like
So
crazy.
the total Tri-City
And then it was
area
fine
is
for like-
80.
Like it was like 80% super smooth.
90%.
It was a weird kind of, we went through some turbulence.
Yeah, when we took off that.
Okay, I
Drink service for the beginning of the flight because it was bumpy.
do you want me to hang out?
But I
Can I
didn't
just hang out here, or do you want me out? Are you comfortable?
Oh.
What do you want?
What do you mean?
Yeah, yeah.
Do you want me to just hang out
Just go on
in
full
the seat,
screen.
or do you need a?
How was the rest of your time there? Yeah.
I'm trying to make this go full screen.
Right?
Come on.
I never-
Work.
I learned some Spanish words.
I want this top part.
Is it Canva?
Yeah, it's Canva. It's supposed to give you the options to go full
Yeah,
screen.
right.
I've never had this happen. Present.
What's down on the bottom here?
Present full
Much
screen.
better than the other one.
Try the 2 arrowy one? Did you already do that? Is that what you just did?
Because
it's
Yeah,
exponential.
just oh, presenter view maybe? Is that,
Hopefully it's similar.
that little, the one there?
That in Vegas, the dinner out costs $700.
No, that's not it.
But the dinner out at that place on the beach,
What is going on here?
that is huge difference.
Percent full screen.
And Lisa and I,
1%.
we ate at the restaurant.
Try that other option that when you were back there, that present, go present,
Breakfast is lunch,
and present
dinner.
viewer, presenter view. Oh wait, that would give you your notes. Yeah.
Let's do that.
That is
I mean,
weird.
it's not the end of the world.
It's not the end of the world. It doesn't
Oh, it's
really.
terrible.
I mean, I love the locale where we were sitting in.
But it's-
the accessibility.
But I wonder if you could just hide your bookmarks too. Like, why don't you go up to bookmarks on your Chrome, all the way on top, and then just do, is there a way to hide bookmarks? Or go to maybe view? How do you do the, well, we show URLs, get rid of the
Yeah, I got rid of
URL?
that. Okay, so let's see.
Right? I mean,
Yeah.
I mean, it's a little bit better, right?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
I think it's fine.
Oh, there we go.
Oh, what?
Oh, there we go. All right, everybody.
Hello.
Hello. Hello.
How we all doing today? Welcome to the last team meeting of the year. How we all feeling? It's been a year, hasn't it? Let's hear some before we get started though. Like it's been a good year. So I want to hear some good things through the whole year as a whole, not just recently. But let's just hear some good things overall, because I know there's some good things that we want to share with the group here today. You know, you guys know I can stand up here all day until I get a couple. Alex, yeah.
Got a few listings set up for 2025.
There you go. That's something good. Definitely something good. Okay. Anybody else? Anything good that's happened throughout the whole year? It doesn't have to be something recent or going into 2025.
I'll say,
Eddie,
I
yeah.
just got back from a leadership retreat. Eric was there as well, and there's a lot of great KW Advisors tools coming down the pike for us to help us with our businesses in 2025. I felt energized about, taking more of the market, so elevating our brand, showing
Yeah.
everybody how amazing we are here. So I'm feeling pretty good about that.
Wonderful, wonderful. Well, come on, let's hear a couple more. Let's hear a couple more good things. Harshit, can we get a couple more? You can throw some in front of my office too. Couple more. Let's hear some more good. This is the season of thanks, season of giving. Who has some gratitude to share maybe? G2, yeah.
I started this food pantry about 3 months ago.
Okay, a food pantry.
Yeah. Last Friday, we served over 750 families.
Amazing.
I was so shocked that so many people out there need help.
Where's the food pantry?
From Thornton Avenue.
It's here in Fremont.
It's in North, Thornton Avenue.
Oh, Thornton. Got it. Okay.
It's really good. There's so much things to be done in society besides just making money.
Mm-hmm.
There's so many people need some help,
Of course.
I felt quite good to initiate this program.
Wonderful. That's amazing. That's definitely something good to share. Anyone else? Anyone else before we get going? Yeah, John.
Hey, can I make a statement?
Of course.
Okay, I'm not running for anything, but.
Maybe you should.
Maybe I should, too. And I apologize up front if I offend anybody. It's not my intention, but a few of you that know me well have come up to me and said, what's going on? What's wrong with you? Well, again, those that know me know I've had a particularly trying year.
Mhm.
And it's been kind of, so it's done a lot of soul searching.
Okay.
But not just about real estate, just about life.
Yeah.
And I've come up with some conclusions, basically, that I'm sure we all know. I've been around for a while. I've been through some turbulent times, yet I think that we're living in a society that's divided more than it's been in a very long time. For whatever you take of it, it's not a good thing, but that's the way it is. So I've decided to maybe start looking for real heroes. And I've looked at some stuff and I read a lot. So
Okay.
I've come across people like football players, Lamar Jackson,
Yeah.
Taylor Swift, people that donate millions of dollars to charity, that visit sick kids in the hospital, to me, that's really important.
Mhm.
Okay? I'm kind of tired of listening to politicians that are a little confused, or 80-year-old men making decisions for young women.
I got you.
know, things like that. Again, I apologize. So I think it's
I
time,
agree with you.
I think it's time to look for some heroes out there, okay? And we can actually become some of those heroes for people.
Yeah.
So I'm just gonna say, have a great 2025, and God bless you. Thank you.
Thank you, John. Thank you, John.
That's what we needed. Really? I don't know about that.
Anything else before I want to give some gratitude? Anybody else want to share anything or have something good to share?
I would like to say Xavier Boys deliver, apparently. The only one person knows what I mean. Xavier Boys know how to deliver a speech. That's it.
Sorry, here we go again.
Before we get going, I want to share some gratitude with all of you here today. It has been an amazing year with some ups and downs, but we couldn't be where we are today without you guys. And I want to give a special thanks to our team specifically. I know I did this at the Christmas party, but I want to do this again. Like Eddie, Harshita, Rachel, Joe, everybody that has supported me, Steven, everybody.
Steve Pierce.
We have done some amazing things this year. And I just want to say thank you from the bottom of my heart, and I hope that 2025 is even better because we have some amazing things coming in store for everybody. But other than that, let's get going because we have some exciting things to do today with our team meeting. We're actually ending off with a little mini panel that we're going to have some of the agents come up and share, and then Michael Putnam will actually be joining us from a Zoom call to join us for that panel as well. But let's get going here. So family reunion is coming up soon. I think it's about 60 days away. Again, I know we've talked about this a few times, but it's a really fun event. Regardless if you guys go and just have a good time or go and want to take something out of it, I'd always suggest going at least once while you are with KW or even when you're not. Because not only are you going to learn a lot, you get to hear from some amazing industry leaders like Gary Keller himself. He always gives a really good economic update, and it's a chance for you to network with the people within the KW community as well, right? You get to learn from a lot of other people from different markets, from different states, and with that, you can build your referral business. There's some people going into this specifically trying to do that. Meet as many people as they can from different areas of the world because KWRI is international, so people from different countries come. And being in the Bay Area gives you guys an advantage, right? A lot of people want to move to the Bay Area. Granted, it's a little bit more expensive than others, but it's an amazing place to live, regardless if you're in the tech industry or if you're looking for good schools. This is an amazing place to live, and it's always great to get your name out there. So prices are going up by the month. Right now, they're about $1,099. But if you go through the KW website, there should be some deals, and it is in Las Vegas this year too. So it is the most affordable option when it comes to travel. But I just want to talk about that. Gary is going to be talking a little bit about the 10 bold truths. They actually came out with some new ones, so you guys are going to be able to hear that firsthand. But that's the QR code for you that will bring you straight to the KW website. But this is an investment in yourself and your business, and I highly suggest going. It's an amazing time, and you're going to have a good time with all of the advisors too, because we're going to have some mixers and some stuff that we want to talk about. And I want to talk about this really quick. Who knows how important it is to know what your local county loan limits are? Why is it, for one of you guys that rose your hand, can someone explain to me why it's important to know what your local county loan limits are? Like, how does that give you an advantage compared to maybe some other agents that don't know these numbers off the top of their head? Anybody, let's hear it. I saw you raise your hand. I know you want to talk a little bit. You've been in the loan world before you came over to KW. So let's share. Like, why is it so important to know what the county loan limits are?
It's just important to know the limits, so therefore if they do fall within the threshold of certain criterias of the loan amounts, you'll know how to assist them, whether they qualify, if they need financing or not.
Right.
It's just educational for them as well, yourself as agent.
Yep. Anybody else want to share why knowing what the Alameda County loan limits are important? Or not just Alameda, just in general, because they do increase over time. And these are for Alameda County specific, just to let you guys know. These are the 2025 new conforming and high balance loan limits. So does anybody, I want to hear from one more person in the crowd that mainly might work with buyers on why it's important to learn this type of information. anyone? Okay, well, we do have a class. I did want to mention this because we do have a class with Michael Houghton himself tomorrow. He's coming for a lunch and learn to get you guys informed on the new loan limits and how we can use those to help propel you guys with maybe some buyers and why that's important. So that's kind of the reason why I want to bring it up, because those of you who don't know why it's important to know these and the advantages that can bring to you and your buyers, come to the class tomorrow. It's going to be amazing. Michael Houghton is the Executive Finance Manager for Real Estate Mortgage Advisors, which is our in-house platform that we use. So him and Melissa Rominsky, who is one of the new, I think, operations staff that they brought on, will be here tomorrow. So if you guys don't have anything to do or if you guys are curious, come tomorrow. I have another slide tomorrow, later on for you guys to scan the QR card to come. But this is so important to help your buyers to see where they qualify for, if they're in the jumbo war, high balance, and what they can really qualify for. And knowing that is essentially being the local economist. And they want you to be the go-to person when it comes to questions.
I just want to add, you know, in general in real estate, in a lot of what we're doing and helping our clients do, we're not, you know, we're letting the expert be the expert, right? That's, it's not our job to take over somebody else's job. And actually, we need to be really careful that we're not doing that. But we should have, we should be able to speak articulately, you know, across different disciplines in our industry, and we should be able to speak the language of loans, you know, the basic language, and then hand our client off to somebody who's going to kind of take on the role of the expert. So we're not encouraging you to become experts and know everything about what every loan product that's available in the market is, but being able to speak the language, you know, is important. So attending classes with people like Michael will be really helpful for you in that way.
Agreed. And then just some basic stuff. So this is the schedule for this week. The big class that we have is tomorrow with Michael Houghton right here. We have some next slides. The office is closed Christmas Eve and on Christmas, so I do want to inform you guys. Staff will not be here, but the office is still open if you guys want to come in and get some work done. Same with the following week. New Year's Day, January 1st, we will be closed, but the day prior and the day after we will be open, normal business hours. So again, if you guys want to come on January 1st and get the year started strong, that's all on you. Me, on the other hand, I might be in bed. Upcoming events. So this is the class I was talking about tomorrow. If you guys plan on coming, please RSVP. Lunch is provided in the way that we know how much food to bring is from your RSVPs, and we want to make sure that there's always enough to bring. And again, knowing the basic knowledge of your county's loan limits is only an advantage to you. If you guys want to learn more, this is also on our calendar. You can RSVP there as well.
Before you go
Yeah.
on, can I just say,
Yeah.
if you don't have a trusted loan partner
Mhm.
that can be in your list of lenders that you refer, this should be there. You should meet Michael and see why that's a great option for you.
Exactly. And we are bringing on more and more loan officers as well. So please reach out to me, Harshita, Michael, to see who could be the right fit for you and your clients. We do have some more classes coming up in January that we just want to touch on a little bit. Steve, do you want to talk a little bit about your prospecting and marketing class?
Yeah, a couple weeks ago, Joe taught a class on lead generation, and there was a handful of people here. And one of the slides that he showed listed all the different sources of prospecting and marketing. And the thought occurred to me that it'd be a good idea to spend some time and just go through all those different sources, talk about which ones you might want to use, you know, how to implement them, what they might cost, what kind of conversion ratios you might expect from it.
Mhm.
So that's going to be the essence of the class on Friday, January 10th.
That looks great.
Wonderful. Thank you, Stephen. Again, please RSVP so we know how much material we need to print for everybody that's going to join us. The following one that we want to share is with Carl Medford himself. For those of you who don't know him, he's one of our top agents, if not the top agent with the biggest team here at our office. He's going to be talking about mastering the buyer consultation. That's going to be the following week after Steve's class. That's going to be here in person. It will not be recorded on Zoom. It's going to be a 2-hour class. Again, if you want to join and learn from one of the best, please RSVP. Carl's classes are always amazing. And again, we'll inform you guys this when the time gets closer as well, but we do want to just keep you up to date a little bit here.
I will say, I'll just add that, you know, in addition, you know, most of us have pretty comprehensive listing presentations and listing presentation templates that we bring with us to listing appointments. But in my experience, at least, an area that a lot of agents fall short is having the same kind of comprehensive discussion materials for a buyer consultation. Buyer consultations have always been a good idea. They're more important than ever with the new compensation landscape. And Carl and his team have produced materials unlike anything I've seen from competing agents in the market and teams. I mean, I've actually had the good fortune to review the 12 or 15 page buyer representation packets that he gives his buyers, and I don't know how much of that he plans on sharing, but he's given a lot of thought to what we do, what our value is when we're working with buyers, and that's more important than ever. So I think this is another great opportunity for anybody in this room to
Exactly.
kind of peek in on what somebody that's doing a whole lot of business
Yeah,
does.
and learning with someone that has an amazing track record too. He's had years where he and his team have closed upwards of over 100 units. So if you guys want to learn from someone that has been there and done that and has that track record, especially with the agents that are on his team too, please come to this class. I know that he loves to teach. And then the last one I think that I want to talk a little bit about, this is a special chance for you guys. For those of you who don't know who Leanne Harris is, she is our regional director for all of Northern California and Hawaii. It's very rare where you get a chance to actually get in front of her. She's usually busy running around with the region and KWRI as a whole, and she's actually going to take the time out of her busy day to come into our class and teach a 2-hour conversion class. Because I know a lot of you guys have a big database and you guys communicate with them, but when it comes to converting, getting in front of them, setting that appointment, and what comes after that, that might be where some of us might struggle a little bit, which is the hardest part, right, is that conversion. So she's going to come in here and teach on how to convert. And this is going to be a lunch and learn as well. She's going to provide some food. So again, if you guys want to learn from the regional director of Northern California and Hawaii for KW as a whole, she will be in here. It's in person only, will not be on Zoom. And I expect that this is going to be a pretty packed class. So please RSVP while you can. And we did want to welcome Karuna to the office today. If you can just stand up and say a little something about yourself.
Hi, as you know, my name is Karuna Khanna, and you were talking about a graduate, and thank you for this. I am thankful that I have passed the license and I have become the realtor. I'm new to this real estate and have learned a lot of stuff from today in the morning from Stephen. Thank you, Stephen. And I am looking forward to meet you all. That's all. Yeah.
Welcome.
Yeah.
Well, welcome to the family, everybody. Welcome Karuna here today. Thank you for joining us. And we do want to leave a good amount of time for the panel at the end. So next we have some just listed. Again, you guys know how we do this, how you got it, purchase price, and why someone would want it. I think the first one that we have on here is Elizabeth Kim. Last time it was coming soon, and it actually just got listed. I think she had her first open houses over the weekend. It's out in Lathrop, 4-bed, 3-bath. I don't think she's here today, but reach out to Elizabeth for more information. Pretty good investment opportunity out there in Lathrop at $749,900. The next one we got is with G2. I think I saw you here. Do you want to talk a little bit about your commercial opportunity?
So this is a restaurant called Chandini Restaurant and Banquet Hall. It's one of the largest banquet hall in the Bay Area. Capacity about 1,500 people, about 300 people's car parking outside. 4 large kitchens inside, huge place, and it's for sale.
How did you get it?
Personal contact over 30 years.
Okay, so it's just staying in touch with your database. Gotcha. Okay. And does anybody else have anything that might be coming soon that they just want to present out to the office right now before we move forward? Alex, I know you said that you had a couple. Are they ready?
I do have one coming up in San Leandro. It's a condo.
Okay.
It's a 2-bedroom, 1-bath. It's located on East 14th.
Gotcha, and I assume you don't have the price yet for it, do you?
We don't have the price set up yet,
Okay.
but I do have some information about it, so if anyone wants like a condo in San Leandro, feel free to reach out.
And how did you get this one?
This one's from a referral from someone I went to college with.
Gotcha, so
So
keep it in touch.
still keep in touch.
Sphere of influence,
And
again.
he's watching, like, we don't really communicate often, but
Mhm.
he's always watching my stories, so if you guys don't wanna, what we always say is don't be a secret agent, so
Mhm.
always
Yeah.
share that, whether you're an investor or a real estate agent, post it on your story, cause, you don't know who's watching.
Yeah, you never know when a deal is gonna come across. That's why social media is so pertinent in today's market, and that's why your sphere of influence, we always touch on it. That's where everybody should start getting their deals. Because as you know, those G2 and Alex, those are from their sphere of influence.
Alex, when is it coming? When do you plan to
This
go on?
will be coming, we're deciding either mid-January or early February.
And if someone in this room had somebody that wanted to see it early and maybe put something together,
okay with
would, yeah, possible, okay, great.
Perfect, thank you. Mr. Klein.
Hi, everybody.
Stephen Klein.
Low introduction again, for the people that don't know who you are.
Oh, for those that I don't know, I'm Stephen Klein. I'm the managing partner of the Greystone Insurance Agency. Greystone's a partnership with KW Advisors. We were created specifically to help you and your clients with your insurance needs, which if you've been in this business for more than like 12 months, you know it's becoming really difficult to get property and casualty insurance. Just as a point of reference, Greystone doesn't just do homeowners insurance policies. We're a full service insurance agency, so personal lines, that's home, auto, umbrella, earthquake, flood insurance, landlord insurance, renter's insurance. We have a very large commercial insurance business. So for those of you that have commercial clients, general liability, workers' comp, product liability, cyber liability, all the different things for different businesses. We have clients from Main Street to Wall Street. We do all kinds of funky stuff in between. I like to work on the funky stuff. And then we also have a very robust E&O insurance book of business. We write the E&O policies. We actually write all the policies for this market center. So if you have any questions about your E&O coverage or anything like that, we can be a resource for that as well. Let me just start with some gratitude. This office has really supported Greystone Insurance this year. We're grateful for that. Hopefully we've been a great resource to you and to your clients. Any questions you have, lots of times clients or potential clients contact us and ask us to replace their insurance. And lots of times the policy that they're in is really still the best policy to be in. And our value proposition for that is that we will just help your clients or help you make a good policy great. Lots of times there's just some little tweaks that can be done with the policy so that you don't have to change your insurance company because you're already in the right program. So let us help you with that as well. There's a lot of words under number one here. You don't need to read all of that. But what I want to tell you is just this week, I think it was yesterday actually, the Department of Insurance confirmed that it has approved or has received approval to move forward with predictive modeling as a way to set insurance rates. There's a lot of businesses, there's a lot of interests that find this to be a good move. Interestingly, consumer advocacy groups do not like this. So historically, California is one of the few states that only allows insurance companies to request rate increases based on losses, looking backwards. And now what's going to be happening, which is very common in lots of other states, is that the insurance companies are going to be able to request rate increases based on climate predictive modeling as part of the equation. There's actually a new position that's being appointed within the Department of Insurance. There's an engineer, scientist lady, I forget her name right now, but she's been appointed to this position. She's going to be in charge of the program that's going to create the models that the industry is going to use to set insurance rates. What does all this mean? Higher insurance rates, without question. What I believe for the foreseeable future is that the double-digit rate increases that we've been seeing over the last few years are going to start to plateau. Hopefully we'll start seeing a couple years of either single-digit increases or maybe flat premiums. because rates have been increasing very aggressively over the last few years. And that's to make up for the lack of increase that the insurance commissioner granted during COVID, right? You know, Greystone, we are brokers. We work with the insurance companies that are still writing new business in California. So when policies come up for renewal, if you want us to take a look and just see if there's a better option in the marketplace, that's really what we're here for, both for you and for your clients as well. I want to remind everyone that occupancy is both a rating factor and an eligibility factor. This is really important if your clients are changing the occupancy of their home. If it was their owner-occupied home, now they're going to rent it out to others, whether they have a long-term 12-month tenant or whether they're going to rent that out as an ADU or as a short-term rental, or convert a part of the home to an ADU for short-term rental. It's really important that the insurance company knows what they're insuring, especially as it relates to short-term rentals, because a lot of insurance companies don't have an appetite for that, and we wouldn't want our clients to unknowingly create a gap in coverage because they didn't know to update the policy, right? When we deliver policy documents to our clients and your clients, one of the things that we put in the email is to give us a call or contact us anytime they think that their risk profile is changing, and occupancy is really what we're focused on there. So just so that you can be a better resource to your clients and also to your friends and family and colleagues. Anytime occupancy is changing with an insurance policy, any property, residential or commercial, it's really important to contact the insurance company, let them know what's going on, make sure that coverage still isn't, the coverage that's in place would still respond to a loss. Does that make sense? Do I have more time or am I done?
I'll give you 2 more minutes.
Bless you. So when do you contact Greystone Insurance? If you're working with buyers, as soon as you get into contract, please have a conversation with your clients. Ask them what their insurance plan is. If they're already working with an insurance professional, encourage them to talk to that person as soon as possible. If they're not already working with someone, of course, we appreciate the introduction. Contact information is on the left side of the slide there. It's important to know that not every insurance agent or insurance broker works with every insurance company. So sometimes it does make sense to contact 1 or 2 additional resources, just so you can cast a wide net and make sure that your clients are getting the best coverage for the best price, right? If you're just doing listings, we believe that having an insurance proposal as part of your listing presentation might help you separate yourself from your competition. And so if you send us just the address of the property to KW Advisors at Greystone Insured, give us a day or 2, we can send you a proposal that you can include with your listing presentation, just to show that your clients that you're maybe you're looking at this differently than maybe your competitors are, especially if they've been in the home for a long time and they don't know that the insurance landscape has changed, and that, you know, even though they're paying maybe $150 or $200 a month for their policy currently, now in the open market that might be a $500 or $600 a month policy. It might really change what they can get for their home. So anyway, I'm going to be here most of the day. If you want to talk about something that you're working on, in case you haven't figured it out, I love talking about insurance. Yes,
I have a
Pat?
question, because I know there's a lot of new agents here.
You're the best,
Unpermitted
Pat.
things, unpermitted ADUs, unpermitted anything, no coverage, right? Or yes?
So I haven't seen language in an insurance policy that specifically says that if property isn't permitted, it's not covered. What I have seen is that every policy has a negligence clause. And typically, when unpermitted work is done, it's done oftentimes not up to code. And if that work that's not up to code causes the loss, then I can very easily see an insurance policy denying coverage. Does that make sense?
Yep, well, it makes sense.
I mean, generally speaking, stay away from it, you know? But there's lots of work that gets done without a permit.
Oh.
I might have replaced my roof a couple of years ago and not pulled a permit. I can neither confirm nor deny, but it happens. Yeah.
Not a question, but more of vouching for Steven. So I had a listing, it was pretty complicated. I'm not gonna get into too much detail, but it was vacant. I called about 12 home insurance and they couldn't do it.
That was your first
Steven was
mistake.
able to help out. Yeah.
So-
Thank you, I
It was
appreciate that.
crazy.
I
We
was-
couldn't close unless we had insurance on that one.
I was gonna add on to Stephen's point, and Alex really just helped a lot with it. I was gonna add on to Stephen's point, Stephen said that they're willing and they're available to help prepare, or have a look at the property when you're listing it, so that you can include something maybe with the disclosure package. We're not making any absolute promises about an insurance policy, but pointing a buyer and a buyer's agent in the right direction in this kind of like critical, tough climate. If you sniff anything questionable about the property that you're selling, getting ahead of it. Our business is all about getting ahead of it, so you don't have to negotiate later in a way that's not helpful to your client. Like if you see the problem in advance and you get ahead of it, you can save your client some heartache and headache and money.
Yeah. I mean, don't let insurance be the reason why your escrow doesn't close on time, right? And we get lots of phone calls, hey, I was referred to you by my realtor, we're buying a house, when are you closing escrow? Tuesday. Like, there was a time when I got into this business, insurance was very much an afterthought. Steve will tell you.
It was the day before.
Day before, you called the insurance guy, you had a quote, you had a policy, it was no problem at all. Those days are never, ever returning, ever, really, like, sometimes it could take a couple of weeks to get a good policy, so just be careful.
Get
Steve?
ahead.
Yeah.
Yeah, one conversation that I've been having a lot of over the last 3 to 6 months deals with the concept that, on the one hand, when there's financing involved in a transaction, the buyer has to qualify for the financing, but the property has to qualify for the financing as well. And that's not only the appraisal, but it's also the insurance. And that's why, like Eddie was saying, when you've got a property that you can see may be a problem with financing, it's not gonna be a cash transaction. You need to explore insurance immediately. And I've had situations, one in particular, where Stephen's quote, my pre-sale quote, was the quote that the buyer ultimately went with, because they couldn't find any better insurance on their own.
I'm gonna let you know a little secret, Steve. That's why we do them.
Yeah. Right. And the other thing too, is he'll take the easy ones too.
Yeah, we definitely love chip shots, but also, if you're selling a flip, typically, the renovations to the home are just cosmetic, and sometimes the reason that the home is being renovated is because there was an insurance loss. And so to Steve's point, losses follow both the property and the claimant. And so, you might think that you're selling a great house that's got all updates, and then it turns out there's a $75,000 water loss on there, and the flipper didn't replace the pipes. Now there's a situation that might need some time to sort out. That's why you don't want to do it a week before.
Exactly.
Cool.
Well, thank you, man. I
Thanks for having me.
appreciate it. Again, use the resources that we got. We have so many amazing people in our world here, like Stephen and Michael and everyone that we got. So please use them to your advantage. We want the client experience to be as seamless as possible. But I do want to jump ahead a little bit. I did want to talk about the market just a tad, but we're running out of time because I do want to have some time for the panel at the end. So I'm going to go straight to Broker's Corner with Eddie here, if that's okay with you.
Sure. Yeah. All right, so I wasn't able to make the last meeting, and I asked Natasha to share some of these. I think that these are kind of fun, end of year, kind of fun and scary, hopefully. Right, for everybody.
Last time, they were pretty fun last time Natasha did it.
The preface, what I refer to this as, because Marty Mead, our legal counsel, refers to it as the wall of shame. Colloquially, we call it the wall of shame. The CEO, a lot of you don't realize that code of ethics violators get their picture put up on a published CAR page that shows the perpetrator and their violation, talks about the fees that were incurred or the other disciplinary action they received, and tells us the story of what this bad actor did in our market. And Marty Mead usually says in his classes, this thing that's published and out there on the internet could easily be printed and brought to a listing presentation. So if you think about it that way, you know, when you're up against other people at a listing presentation, just one more reason why you want to avoid being the bad guy. So, but the main reasons you want to avoid being the bad guy is we're in a business where our clients put their trust in us to do the right thing, and I think that we're all good people here, so we want to do the right thing. So let's talk about what some of these characters did. I try to take my examples from other markets. I try to go to like Southern California, et cetera, because I'm hoping not to embarrass anybody's best buddy. But okay, so I took out the names more successfully this time than I did last time. Blank was found in violations of Articles 1 and 3 of the Code of Ethics. As a result, he got a 3-year letter in his file and a $1,500 fee, and has to take a Code of Ethics class. So he got a $1,500 coming out of his bank account because he allowed his assistant to enter a listed property by giving his assistant his lockbox key. So we'll pause there, right? Doesn't take a lot of thinking as to for us to, I hope, understand why that's not acceptable. And he did this without authorization from the listing agent or the seller. The panel found that he violated Article 3, standard practice, which states realtors shall not provide access to the listed property on terms other than those established by the owner or seller. Additionally, the panel found that he violated Article 1 for failing to treat all parties honestly and by failing to protect the interest of his own clients, since the seller may have refused to work with those buyers after discovering the unauthorized access. So, you know, it gets back to kind of what I prefaced this with. Our clients put their trust in us. And when we're listing a home, when we're listing somebody's property, oftentimes it is their home. And they're giving us a key to their home to be respectful with and to treat, you know, to treat seriously and be treat properly. And we belong to a professional association, and we're making a commitment to the professional association that we're a member of that we're going to treat these things with the correct amount of respect. So this is just 2 reasons why giving your assistant a lockbox key that you were trusted with is not appropriate, not okay. And he felt it in his pocketbook for $1,500 and gets his face up here. And that second point's a great point too. Now the buyers that are viewing that property too have annoyed the sellers, right? That's my polite way of saying they've peed them off, right? They pissed them off. They've gone in and looked at this property without access, and now the seller, if all else is equal when they're reviewing offers, is likely to pass over that buyer. So he didn't do anybody any favors. Okay. This fellow, this Code of Ethics violator, wall of shame, woo, was found in violation. Oh, you know, normally I say after each bad guy, I say, don't do that. So let me just say, don't do that, the last person's infraction. This guy was found in violation of Articles 1, 3, and 11 of the Code of Ethics. As a result of these violations, he got a license and he got a letter in his file for 3 years, was fined $3,500, and has to view a couple of classes, attend the Code of Ethics class and an RPA class. Okay, so this guy was purchasing a real residential property and was acting as his own agent. On the day escrow was scheduled to close, the listing agent received a call from one of the seller beneficiaries making him aware that there were workers at the property demolishing a bathroom. So this property is not closed. This guy is an agent himself. He's acting as his own agent, and he's got workers at a property that he does not own demolishing a bathroom. I mean, I hope, right? I hope everybody's laughing and like relief here. The listing agent contacted escrow to check if the property had sold, had been recorded, and was informed the recording hadn't taken place. The listing agent arrived at the property and was told by the workers that this agent had let them in. Listing agent questioned this agent. He repeated that he didn't do anything wrong because he was going to own the property later that day anyway. That, on top of everything, that cavalier attitude has to make the panel feel happy, right? The panel found that he violated Article 1 because he failed to treat all parties to the transaction honestly, Article 3 because he failed to cooperate with another broker by not informing the listing agent he was going to access the lockbox to enter the property, and Article 11 for failing to act within the standards of practice and competence expected of the buyer's agent, et cetera, et cetera. Don't do that. Okay, and then the last one, okay, got to fly through this one. Sorry, we have no picture here because this person refused to submit her picture and she quit the professional association because she was getting pursued. She was found in violation of Article 16. She was fined $12,500. So real quick, sellers of real property signed an exclusive listing agreement with a realtor. This person, who we don't see here, was a close friend of the sellers but was not a party to the listing agreement. One of the sellers contacted the listing realtor and said that they were not, this person who's not here was going to stage the house for them because she would do it free of charge. This person who is not here also gave the seller advice throughout the transaction, even though she was not their realtor. She steered them away from certain buyers. She steered them towards other buyers. She took on the duties of a real estate agent over and over and over again when she was not the one with the exclusive listing. She was fined $12,500. Would love to talk about this some more, but we got to go. So what I will leave it at is, don't do that.
Can we all get everybody to say together?
Don't do that.
There we go. I love to hear it.
And we'll bring these every once in a while.
But without further ado, I'm going to bring Michael Putnam up onto the screen. And can we get Steve and Hans to come up here, please? Let's see here. I'm going to pull up some chairs for you. Hey, Mike, how are you? Can you hear me? Yes, you can. All right, cool. There you go. We are starting this panel right now. There's the screen. Everybody say hi to Mike.
Hi, Mike. Hi, everybody.
But let's get some chairs up for you too. The stools? Okay, yeah, let's do that.
We got Alex
Hey
back
there.
there hanging
All
out
right.
with the headset on.
Alex is, what's going on there? It looks like Eric is going to go get us.
I love it.
Eric is going to go get us some stools to get things set up. So everybody who doesn't know, does everybody know who Michael Putnam is?
Yeah.
Yes.
Michael Putnam is the president of our company, and we were just at a leadership retreat over the last week or so, and we had the ability to kind of like really look towards 2025, figure out like how we're going to best serve the agent pool. We were able to look at those Procasa tools and everything coming down the line from KWA, and we are in great hands with Mike as our leader. So
I wanted to bring Mike up here today. Oh, sorry.
All credit is to the team that's working on everything together.
Yes, but I wanted to bring Mike in today because he can come at a different perspective. As you guys know, Mike is the president of KWA as a general whole, so he kind of oversees every single market center. So I just wanted to hear from his point of view how different his is compared to some of our top producers here in the office. But the first question that I wanted to ask you guys today was that this year has its ups and downs with the market, whatnot, the election, anything that you can think of, right? We kind of went through it this year. I want to see, how has your mindset shifted from the beginning of this year to the end of this year, and what's it going to be like going into 2025?
Well, my mindset at the beginning of the year was that there were some forms of lead generation that I wasn't fully implementing, and that I needed to ramp it up. And I did. I had a good year in 2023. So my expectations were that I would, do equally as well this year. So that was the main thing, was just to look at what I was doing and ramp it up in different areas. I ramped it up in social media. I wasn't really in social media much, and I started posting Just Listed and Just Sold in social media. I'm still not there. I'm not in every site that I should be in. I'm a little slow when it comes to the tech part, right? And then I started, increasing my Just Listed, Just Sold marketing to my sphere. And then I got heavy into EDDM mailing as well, and doing that both to my sphere not to my sphere, but to the neighborhoods where I geographically farm and where the properties that I sold were located.
Okay. Hans?
So I had a terrible year in 2023, I mean last year. So you know what? Because every year I told my wife that I have to set on my trip to kind of reward myself first. So I kind of like, you know, we decided I want to go, you know, to meet the mid-year this year. So I know that at the beginning of the year I have to be really kind of, you know, kind of sprint. So I kind of work really hard, just kind of, you know, coding my sphere at the beginning of the year and just like that, you know. But I don't do anything else. I don't usually call. Nothing else. I don't spend any money on advertising. Just pretty much for the sphere.
So what's changed from 2023 from this compared to this year?
2023, because I think it's all mindset. Mindset, I just kind of, you know, that year I know it's going to be a bad year, so I'm like, I just want to take a break. And I think that just like sabbatical, you know,
Yeah.
once in 10 years, I'm like, I just want to. I wouldn't say I gave up, but I just feel like, yeah, you know, I just take a break.
Okay.
And it's a long break, right? You kind of, you know, 6 months, 7 months. It's time to work.
Yeah, I gotcha. And how did your mindset change coming into 2024 that made you have a much more successful year?
I know that the clients will come back just because, you know, 2023 the interest rate just go like this. You know, say seller they're not able to sell the kind of stock, right? And they might don't like their house, but they like the interest rate, they kind of stock. And buyer, of course, interest rate go like that, they're not buying. I know I know it's not gonna be last forever. So 2024, you know, 1 year after the interest rate go like that, it's about time. So
Gotcha.
I know they come back.
Okay. And Mike, how has your mindset changed coming into, from the beginning of 2024 towards the end? How has it changed, and what are you going to do going into 2025?
Yeah, first, when I look over this way, I'm just trying to make it look like I'm looking at the other panelists. So.
It kind of looks
That
like you
sounds
are.
great. Right here. You know, a couple of things have just been reinforced for me. A little bit of backstory. The organization I helped build before I joined KW Advisors, we were selling nearly $500 million of real estate as a team just before I decided to make that move out. And the only reason I share that with you is because we went through cycles like we've gone through the last couple of years. So to answer Eric's question around the mindset piece, anytime we're in an upcycle, when it almost feels like things are happening organically and a little bit more easy, it's not always easy for everybody, however, just a little bit easier for all of us on some level, it becomes really easy to become complacent, and our mindset can wander into, okay, I can do all these different things. And then when the cycle changes, my mindset always goes to a little bit more, I'm gonna answer it in two different ways. A long-term vision, and how I relate that, as Eddie teed up the fact that we were at our retreat last week, is when you know what you're after, you know what you want, and it's a longer-term thing, it can get kind of fuzzy and cloudy, and you know it's pulling you towards it. However, you can't see the steps to get there. So that's when my mindset goes back to, all right, what's right in front of me, and what are the absolute next steps I can take? All of this is encapsulated by, do I have something within my control, and is it the right thing to do? Is it the next best step I can take? And if that's the case, I just link as many of those things together, and I almost imagine it as like a chain between where I am now and where I want to go in the long term. So I take a much shorter view approach when it comes to just getting things done, because if I have control over something and I can go and make that next right move, I can make that next connection or make that next relationship, or at least just knock something out that's going to propel me or the business forward, I can take that as a win. And I can see all of you out there. How many of us need wins? We all need wins at times, right? Yeah, I can see some hands going up. So my mindset, Eric, is where is it that I can win right now?
And
I did this thing, and I'm sorry to take so much time. I did this thing with my kids the other day where it was about that long-term vision in the short term. I had them actually put their heads down. I stood in front of them. I had them walk straight towards me, looking at the ground, and then tell them to pop their heads up, and I'd be right in front of them, and they'd have to make a big move to get out of the way. And then I went further away and had them look a little bit higher. Basically what I was doing was an analogy between making sure you see what's out there. However, you do at times, you come right back down, and that means if you're going, where can I win right now? I'm gonna look up, and some of them have some big obstacles to go around. That's the market, that's a client falls out of contract, that's some things like that. We deal with those in the moment. However, we keep focused on where can I make my next step forward? What's the next best thing for me to take? That fuels my mindset every day. Where can I win right now?
Gotcha. And I kind of just wanted to go straight off of that into my next question. We talk about next steps and actionable items. So I wanted to ask the three of you, what is one next step or actionable item that you guys are going to go do in 2025 to propel you ahead of the game to get you going on the right track, to be successful for the whole entire year? And Mike, I guess you can start because you kind of ended it off with it.
I think I'll jump up. Was it Steve over here?
Yeah.
Okay.
Stephen Hans.
I'll go off of what Steve
I'm at
said
2 o'clock.
earlier about something that he hasn't been very good at the tech side. He's starting to put himself out there. I think everybody in this room right now can identify, and I'll answer for you as well, can identify the one thing that they know they should be doing that they haven't taken a step towards yet. And whether that's a double down on something I'm already doing or something completely different that's outside of our comfort zone, I would encourage, I'm going to use Steve as the example. You know, when I first started doing video and more social media, I was a little bit nervous about it. You know, the whole, how am I going to look? How am I going to sound? Is what I'm going to say resonate? Am I going to get bad feedback? Or all the ego bruising things that might happen. And I just made a commitment to it. I went to my coach. I said, here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to do a video every single week, and I'm going to do it on Mondays. I'm going to post on Mondays, whether I do it Monday or do it over the weekend. I'm going to put myself out there. And it was so uncomfortable at first because I didn't know how the reaction would be. I didn't know if it was good content. And then over time, two things happened. You can all guess what that was. I became more comfortable with it, and people started recognizing me for it. I had people, I think we heard from Wilson Long at a meeting a couple weeks ago where he would be out there, people on the street would notice him because he does a lot of local content. Same thing started happening to me, and I got positive feedback, and so it reassured me. So the short answer would be, you know what you probably should be doing. Pick that one thing and step forward. For me, that's doubling down on the true deep relationships that I've already got and making those much stronger. And it's outside my comfort zone. I'm not your normal, hey, let's go to the bar after work, or go to dinner, or go to this event together. Or I'm not that type of guy. I'm a go to work, do my thing, go home. And yet doubling down on those relationships are my focus for 2025.
Amazing. Steve?
Yeah, I think the two main things I already touched on earlier is increase my social media presence. And I'll be looking into Procasa to possibly use as a resource for that. The other thing that I need to really focus on more is command, and getting I've got like 1,450 contacts, I think, in command. But I'm not using it at a high level at all. And I need to get that really ramped up and get the smart plans going and so forth, because I know that can generate more business for me. And I've kind of violated Gary's mantra, which is don't settle, you know, and I've been content with what I've done the last 4 to 5 years. You know, I've done well, but I know I can do better. And I think, you know, using the resources that we have, you know, don't try to reinvent the wheel. We've got it there. Command is there. It's, you know, you get the contacts in, it's plug and play. It can do a lot of the heavy lifting for you. You just have to implement it. And I've been, like I said, I've just been slow to do that. It's just always on the back burner for me.
Okay. Hans, how about you? What are you going to do going into 2025 to make it a successful year?
Honestly, I don't have any new action plan, but every year I do have this, I always have this set up my own curriculum, kind of growth, whatever I can grow. But the first one is database. Database, you try to build your database every single day, you know, not day, but, you know, every single month, every single week, because I realize that usually, let's say you have 100 clients, 10% they will go to you every single year. That's like 10 transactions. So keep building that. The second one would be the skill growth, because the skill means that it could be the conversion rate, right? Because let's say you have heart problem, you go to a surgeon, and surgeon is asking surgeon, hey, what's your success rate? If the conversion rate is only at 75%, I'm like, oh my God, should I go to the surgeon? Or like pilot say, oh, what's your successful landing rate? 75%. I'm like, are you gonna go for this pilot? So conversion rate, you just have to keep building your skill, keep reading. Sometimes whatever you say, maybe just that thing, you win a client, right? So the last one would be the mindset. I think that's extremely important, because sometimes I kind of tell myself that, hey, like 2023, I'm like sabbatical. So that kind of mindset, you're not gonna produce anything, right? So because you just have to keep I would say positive 100% of the time. I don't really allow any negativity coming to my mind. I just keep positive.
That's amazing. And I know we only have a couple minutes left, so I wanted to open this up to everybody here regardless if it's the questions that I've asked them, or if you want to ask any of these three amazing people any specific questions regarding the business, what they're doing, any specific strategies that they want to share. Because I know you guys probably have a couple questions at least for some of our top producers here and our president. Does anybody have any questions for them? I'll be very surprised if we don't.
Well, while they're thinking, let me just add on one thing.
Yeah.
And it's simple, and I think both Hans and Steve mentioned it, the fundamentals. Going and doubling down on the fundamentals. And I'm looking at my phone right now, it's upside down because I don't ever look at it when I'm on a call. And I'm gonna use a conversation Eric and I had, and I'll be really brief. It was just yesterday, I believe, maybe it was last week, and he said, I know you're busy. And I stopped him, I said, you know what? I'm no busier than anybody in this room. It was him when we were talking, however, right now, I'm no busier than anybody in this room. We have the same amount of hours in the day. The biggest difference that I've seen between high producers or top producers and the less is what they allow on their calendar. And so my encouragement to everybody would be to really take a look at what is it that you're allowing. I think maybe Hans just said, stays away from negativity. What are you allowing to occupy your time, and what could you do with that instead? And the phrase that always comes to my mind is every time I say yes to something, I'm saying no to an infinite amount of other possibilities. If I say, yes, this can be on my calendar for 3 minutes, that's 3 minutes I could have given to infinite other things that could propel me forward. So just be very cautious of what you're allowing into your schedule, whether it's on the calendar or if it's just you letting it infiltrate your world. Be okay saying no. It's not fun, it's not easy sometimes. However, saying no is so liberating because then you can take back your time and control, put that towards something that actually is beneficial.
I love it. While he was talking, did anybody come up with any questions for our amazing people up here today? Because if not, do you guys have any last words that you guys want to say to the crowd?
I think some of you have heard me say it before. Anybody have a question?
So I had a question, like how many areas you're farming with EDDM and how often you're selling EDDM portion?
I've got two carrier route areas that I EDDM to regularly. I'll say at least every other month. I've basically incorporated. I do a Tri-City quarterly market report. So that's 4 touches to my sphere and to the neighborhoods that I farm in. And then I also do just listed, just sold into the areas where the properties are, EDDM into the areas where the properties are, into that farm area, and into the area, possibly one or two or even 3 routes for the subject property as well. So it can vary from month to month as to how many I do. I mean, I could do anywhere from 2 to 5 areas every other month on a regular basis. It just depends on what I'm listing and what I'm selling. Sometimes I will market just 1 property on a mailing, and other times I'll show up to 3. And I may mix that up with the different statuses. Just listed this one's under contract, this one just sold. So so every opportunity I get to market 1 to 3 properties, I take, and I do it to my sphere. I have a basic database of 500 people who get everything all the time and have for 35 years. Okay.
And what is the minimum turnover rate we have to look for, like minimum?
Minimum turnover rate?
Turnover rate? Well, that's going to vary from neighborhood to neighborhood as far as the turnover in the neighborhood and how much you can expect to get. You've got to, when you got to consider, how many houses do we sell a month in Fremont? Okay, and then how many neighborhoods do we have? So in a lot of neighborhoods, you may not see a turnover of more than 2, 3, 4 houses, maybe 5 or 6. Some neighborhoods, the bigger they are, more turnover. So that's a neighborhood specific question, and it can vary.
And consistency and how long you've been doing
it. The other part is consistency. Whatever you do, everything works, but whatever you do, you have to do it consistently. You can't be hit or miss. Do it here, hit over here once and then and then forget about it. You give the money to me, I'll use it in my business, because you're just throwing it away.
Awesome. Anybody else? Hans, did you have anything that you wanted to share?
Today is December 17th, 18th?
17th.
Yeah, so I would say, do you have a business plan for next year? I hope you do, but if you don't, try to, make a plan. But this plan have to get you so excited. You can think about what's the 2 or 3 things you want to do next year? What's the 2 or 3 things you want to have next year? Or what's the other next 2 to 3 places you want to go? So that when you have those desire, right, and you have that, drive to work, to get you excited every day.
I like that.
I just add one thing real quick. A lot of what we talk about and a lot of what we do is going to what we call our not mets, or strangers who we've not had no face-to-face contact with or even any phone contact with. Before you spend a lot of time, energy, and money in that space, please focus on the people you already know.
Yes.
Okay? I see what a lot of you are doing. I see what's coming out of the copy machines and all the stuff you're mailing and the golden letters and all this stuff, and it's all focused at strangers. Don't go in that space until you have mastered the people you know. You have mastered your sphere of influence. That should be your primary goal in 2025, is that. Just stop wasting money on strangers until you get your sphere dialed in. 99% of my business comes from my sphere. It's just the other is hit and miss. But after 35 years, I get a lot of business. Not to brag, I have 7 listings in my pipeline for the first quarter, totaling approximately $11 million.
Sounds pretty good. Yeah. Oh, Mike's doing a high five.
And the year hasn't even started yet.
Yeah.
And I'm not even talking about the buyer side of things. I just got a buyer referral yesterday from my photographer. But my point is, focus on who you know. The average person knows 286 people. You should all have 286 people in your database. You should be touching them monthly in one form or another and consistently.
Amazing. Thank you guys so much. Any last words, Mike, or are you good?
The only thing I would add is focus on the habit you can create. And that'd be on both personal and the professional side. Like Steve said, hitting something consistently monthly. What does that habit look like for you? Focus on a habit that will feed you in your business. Focus on a habit that will feed you personally. Whatever that is. This is the time of the year for New Year's resolutions. And there's a lot of people out there that say New Year's resolutions don't work. They can. We've had people set New Year's resolutions and do very well with it. So whether it's New Year's or it's today or it's 2 weeks into the year, it doesn't matter. What is the one habit you want to create for yourself that's going to help you move forward as a human, whether it's health or fitness or spiritual or relationships, whatever. And then what's the one habit you're committed to, because you can habit stack beyond that. That just means create one habit, and then once that habit's in place, like mastering your sphere, like Steve said, you add the next habit in, and then you add the next habit in, and 6 months from now, 12 months from now, you're gonna look back and say, I've got some really significant habits that are helping me on both sides of things.
Amazing. Well, who's ready to go kill 2025? Yeah. Come on, let's go get it. Let's go get it. Thank you guys so much for coming to our last team meeting of the year. Merry Christmas, Happy Holidays, Happy New Year's, and I will see all of you guys soon. Thank you so much, Mike. I appreciate you.
Great.
Bye, guys.
See you.